Okay, hello there. It's back, and I finished this book all the way to the end. This is the book Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki, New Japanese Minimalism. As a reminder, I pause a lot in these videos to do my interpretation for you guys. And so the title of this chapter is Feeling Happy Instead of Becoming Happy. And I'll give you the subtitles real quick. Letting go of what happiness should be. Genetics determines half of our happiness. The environment determines about 10% of our happiness. And our actions determine 40% of our happiness. That's quite a bit, 40%. That's why I like to travel, take action. You don't become happy, feeling happy instead of becoming happy. Minimalism maximizes the 40% of happiness I get from my actions. And that's it. There's an afterword and maximum thanks. Okay, so here we are on page 247. Highly recommend you get the book. If you're going to add one last thing before you minimize your environment, you can get this book and get the best out of these videos. Get the book or check it out for free from the library, and you can follow along, read the chapter before watching this video. Or you can just try to listen along while you're doing some chores or something, or sitting in a subway or on a spaceship to Pluto. And yeah, nothing to do for the next 5 years. You can just watch this video. Some hot tea. I just made some hot tea. Hot tea. Super hot. Too hot to drink, I think. See if I can burn myself. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so it's not too long, not nearly as long as the last chapter. Last chapter is almost 100 pages. This is only like 5 pages, so it should be pretty quick. Uh, so Fumio Sasaki talks about society embracing a certain standard of happiness, which happens to be getting a stable job. This is like a typical sapien space uh, idea of happiness, quote unquote. Well, this is actually more the common society perceives. Having a stable job, getting married, starting a family, having 2 or 3 kids, or 2.5, 3, 7, 8, 7, 2 kids, like Genghis Khan. uh, enjoying your grandchildren, and this is the what's widely accepted as quote unquote happy life. I do have one friend I would go hiking with. I lost track of a little bit lately. He's got a older kid, but it's kind of. I mean, it seems like most people who raise kids are happy that they have kids, unless they're just lying to themselves. But some may not necessarily always like it. But I mean, I think it's probably the biggest job in the world a person could ever hope to have, as in terms of job, quote unquote job. Um, but I really think, especially after reading Sex at Dawn, I come to realize that the nuclear family is kind of a selfish idea, and it actually our whole world needs to raise our. I mean, our ancestors never probably knew where the baby came from. That's probably where the immaculate conception idea comes from, because there's no. I mean, the baby just kind of popped out of the female, and nobody knew, why or how. It just came out. Uh, so this whole idea of a father might have been born of the agricultural era. I apologize for one of my buddies is calling. I'm gonna have to kind of let the call kind of go for a bit. But anyways, so nobody knew like where the daddy came from. Who's your daddy? So one of my videos, I guess for some reason, has the most views on that series. who's your daddy. Nobody really knew where the daddy came from. But what I'm trying to get at is that if you don't even have kids, you can help. There's so many kids that don't really have a father that are around the world, or even their current father may be an asshole. So, uh, they need somebody to help provide some navigational guidance uh, and wisdom, hopefully a positive, benevolent form of wisdom and guidance, so that can help make a better life. And so I think that's where the society's perception that the nuclear family is like the only thing. I mean, is really kind of a misnomer. I really think that we all need. I mean, that's why we have schools. Schools is kind of like taxpayer subsidized babysitting, but I mean it's better to look at it. It's like we all need to help, even if you're single, to help young people figure out what the f this world is all about, what copulation the world's about, what's going on, what the heck, to do, and what to do with your life. I mean, the first I say to start out is just be amazed how weird. And we're so used to things, but I mean, just the very fact that gravity exists is profound. But most people are so used to it. It's like uh, I did a whole my first video series, at least on this version of the YouTube channel I made. I talked about theory of relativity, so you can watch that. I drop pins all the time in that video. But what I'm trying to say is that's not the nuclear family is not the only path to happiness. And I look at the nuclear family as profoundly insufficient for raising kids, and that's why Dunbar's number of 150 people seems to make a lot of sense. It's probably about how many people you need, how many adults. At least you probably need a substantial number of adults to help a kid grow up. So, anyways, back to the book. So Fumio Sasaki talks about a psychologist named Sonia. I'm gonna I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing this. Lyu Bomirsky, Lyubomirsky. She says that about half of our happiness comes from our genes, and maybe about 10% comes from situations and circumstances, and then 40% from our daily actions. Now we have control of that 40%, actually 50%. Well, no, 40%. 40. The key thing is that's a substantial amount. That's a huge amount, actually. That's not insignificant at all. 40% is a lot. So recognize that and realize you can transform yourself. So and page 249, Fumio points out, makes a good point that to think that our income or our marital status or job or home, whether or not we have kids or not, is only about 10% of what uh, makes our happiness. It's kind of peculiar, unusual to think that that's the standard life goals are only 10%. This is why I love to travel. This is why I love to explore the world, read books, watch interesting movies, go sailing, and go hiking, spend time with friends, family, um, whatever you call it, family, quote unquote. Um, some friends I haven't seen lately, which I need to probably see. I'm so sorry. I apologize if you haven't seen me in a while. um, but then the key point is that 40% our happiness is determined by our actions. So it's good to take action, spend time doing things. Uh, like I need to listen to myself here because like with some of my friends, I go sailing out in San Diego regularly, and I stopped doing that. I was like way back in the late 2000s, 2009, 2010. I don't know. Around it. Anyways, so I need to listen to my own advice. Otherwise, I'm a hypocrite. Uh, to do more sailing trips, chartering some more sailboats with friends. So I need to make that a priority. So maybe, hopefully, you'll see future videos of me on a boat reading to you in the moonlight, the stars, and some dolphins jumping out in the distance, with a bird flying on a seagull, sunset, sunrise. So hopefully we could do some of that in the future together. All right. Uh, Key point on page 250. Fumio Sasaki points out that happiness is always within your heart, and you can hold your heart with your mind, in a sense. Right? Well, connect your mind to your heart. I love this quote from somebody that you can be pessimistic in your head, but be optimistic in your heart. And I say, have your heart always be dominant, because that's a survival trait. It keeps you alive, keeps you healthy, keeps you happy. So, and you don't become happy. I have lots of interesting things I underlined here. Get the book, get the details. Page 252, 253. Yeah, so when you minimize that critical 20%, or like Pareto's law, you start to embrace what's most important and most valuable to you instead of being stuffed by things that are not valuable and stuffed and distracted. So, and Fumio talks in the very last sentence, page 254. Basically, what Fumio's saying is, what's most important in his life is the person that's right in front of you. So you're watching. Uh, if there's somebody in the room, you're watching this video, stop the video, go say hi to them, or if not, even just go outside for a little bit and talk to somebody. Say hi. Hey, we're on a spaceship flying through this galaxy. What do you think? Hey, there's a glowing orb in the sky. What the heck is that? There's a white ball in the sky at nighttime. Hey, what's going on? Why is there gravity pulling us down? What the heck's that? All weird things like that. Nobody really thinks about it, but not nobody, but few people do. But once you can share that common, profound nature, can help unite the world together. So and so we can survive and thrive and go beyond just our little chair that we're standing on over here, or the boat. Get to one. There's a boat on the shore over here. Doesn't have too much stuff in it. Maybe I should just leave this boat here and just go to that one that doesn't have stuff in it. Okay. So there's afterward lots of thanks that the author has to lots of people. And one of the things on page 259 at the bottom, Fumio Sasaki says he's going to close his mouth and hope that you open yours. I'll say the same thing to you watching this video. Please feel free to comment, say hi, say hello. I'm on a ball flying through space. What the heck is going on? I don't know where we are. Spaceship Earth. It's basically what it is. Buckminster Fuller would call it Spaceship Earth. Fumio has nice little convenient compact version of the 55 tips. I actually circled some of them. I'll give you the ones I circled, the ones I felt from my perspective are most valuable. Um, First, I'll tell you what the ones are that I chose that I felt were most valuable to me, and then I'll tell you what my most valuable one of all of them is. But so number 7, I felt I like to discard something right now. Okay, so should I follow my own advice? Okay, I'm just gonna go like this. A piece of tape right here. So I found a piece of tape on my wall. I'm gonna discard that. So I'm gonna do that right now. Ugh. If I can get the trash can. I can't believe it made it in the trash can. Little piece of tape like curved, like there's some weird aerodynamics going on inside here. Okay, so and the next one, start with things that are clearly junk. So I actually even did that. So I just found some junk on my wall. In fact, I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna peel off another piece of tape off the wall. So I'm actually taking action here. That's a 40%. Yeah, 40%. And I'm just tossed it on the floor. I'll have to pick it up later. Uh, okay, and then number 14, take photos of items that are tough to part with. Like, see, this Yoda guy, I'd probably have a hard time departing with him. But, if I took photos of him, maybe with pictures with me next to it, on my shoulder or something, probably more open to letting Yoda go. Probably give it to a pawn shop or something. Or if somebody comments down below, maybe I can ship it to you for free. I'm making it work for myself. But okay, so and then number 16, our things are like roommates except we pay the rent. So yeah, that's right. Space, open space has value. It's not just. It doesn't have to be something there all the time. So. And 19, leave your unused space empty. Now, can you imagine unused space in a spaceship? Well, there is unused space in a spaceship. Not a whole lot, but okay. Which reminds me, I'll link you to a picture of Neil Armstrong smiling. There's a photo taken by Buzz Aldrin when they landed on the moon. It's a great picture. You can see they don't have whole lot of space there. Scene's kind of interesting too. It's like I think it's got like little holes or something. I don't know, like. But anyways, and then number 32, the city is our personal floor plan. I love that. I like to say the whole world is the first. Think of the whole world as your personal floor plan. The entire planet is a floor plan. I wish we could add the moon and Mars and other planets, but maybe people in the future watching this video, maybe they'll be able to do that. But okay, number 40, be social, be a borrower. That's one I liked a lot. And then 41, rent what can be rented, which is just kind of like 40. So which one of these, of all the 55 tips that I like the most, really are the ones I just described to you, which one do I like the most? I'm going to have to say discard something right now, because that's taking action. Okay? And the only thing that makes a book really valuable is actually acting upon it, using it in a positive way. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this book. I hope you learned something. Please get the book, support the author. Goodbye Things by Fumio Sasaki. And so I pretty much read the whole book there. There you go. It wasn't too long. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to finish reading this book. I'll read it to you guys probably directly because there's no copyright issue with this book. This is on reinforcement learning. Because I kind of jumped ahead of myself working on it because I didn't really expect that to take off so much in the last few years. And it's kind of strange to me that it took him 26 years to figure out that reinforcement learning was one of the best ways to get AI to work, and but nobody asked me for any advice. So, uh, so anyways, I think, like I said, it's probably one of those things that's just so obvious, like fish for water, or I left my pin by my head, and I can't see. Don't know where my pin is. It's been like 20 years trying to figure out where I left my pin. But uh, so okay, you take care of yourself wherever you are. I hope you're doing great, and the next videos will be on most likely reinforcement learning. So you can learn something about reinforcement learning. All right. All right. So I hope to talk to you guys later. Hope to see you later. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to meditate, and even better, go around and say hi to a few people. All right. So sawadi, yatehe, mashi mashi, sin chao, suzde, hola. I think that's all I know. So ni hao ma. Okay. All right. All right. Zaijian. Bye or whatever. Okay. See you later. I have to stop recording, but okay. All right. Bye.